Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Coffee Time with CoachJahSmalls in the building. It is Wednesday morning, and we have enough to celebrate. Today is the 100th episode. I've done 100 of these. I've saved. It's probably more because I've saved some. Good morning, Teresa. I've saved some, but I do know that I was a couple of them that didn't save at one point in time. But it's in the books. 100. I've done 100 of these already. And so I'm really excited about that. And 100 is on the day that Biden and Kamala actually walk into the office. So that makes it even super dope. It's a whole lot to celebrate. I can remember my 100th episode was actually on inauguration day. How about that? Orange peel should be at Andrews, so I'm not leaving the house until I know his plane gone. Yeah, I know, right, Mike? Stay in. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you. And so I'm celebrating this morning. This is breakfast. I'm having me a slice of cake. If y'all can see that, that's 7-Up cake and my cup of coffee. And so, in honor of my 100th episode, we're going to share this piece. I'm having a piece right now on camera. Boom. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I think yeah. Hold on, AJ. My bad, brother. I thought I sent you the link, and I'm gonna send it to you right now. Because AJ's coming on the join. We're gonna talk about some stuff today, and we definitely gonna talk about this here old craziness right here. Your boy didn't even show up. How you don't show up to your job? Yes, I'm celebrating, Teresa. Good morning, V in the building. How do you not show up and do your job? Mike, I got a slice for you right here, bro. I got a slice for you right here. Just come on and get it. Actually, Mike, we need to talk. I got to run out today. I got some things I need to do. I got to go meet with my consultant this afternoon. First thing, like about 1:30, I think. I have to be there. So, but when I come back, I might call you on the way while I'm driving. That might be better. And we can talk about some things because I need to holler at you. But I'm definitely got some things that's popping. I got some amazingness that's getting me set off. I'm just excited. I just feel really good. I didn't sleep so good, man. I don't know what was wrong. And then, brethren, what's up, brethren? Who naked up in here? I didn't. What's funny is my YouTube screen right now is you with Damian Hall beside you. Oh, is that right, Mike? Listen, let me tell you something. God's one of my favorites. When God did Yearning, they freaked out. No Paul's in the building. What's good? Good morning. Good morning. We are celebrating 100 episodes. We're celebrating 100. I've been on the screen 100 times doing this particular thing here with y'all. See how amazing y'all made me? Y'all made me amazing because I would have been here by myself if it wasn't for you. Be here by myself if it wasn't for you. What's up, Virgo 75? What's up with you? How you doing? Good morning. We are celebrating my 100th episode. 100. 100. Can you imagine that? Frugal. Good morning to you. 100. I've been on this screen 100 times here at the 10 o'clock hour with you all. Right? Isn't that crazy? And it's inauguration. Right. I'm ready for the circus. I got popcorn and chips. And good morning to you. I got popcorn and chips and all kinds of snacks and delectables. I'm gonna be a fat kid in heaven sitting here laughing at all the stuff that's gonna go on. And no, Paul, thank you for that. Listen, the video you posted when you got the Who Naked in Here hoodie. Oh my gosh, that gave me so much life. They gave my brother Wit so much life. That was super dope for you to do that. Super dope. Listen, I'm not gonna waste no time, man. Our brother's in the building. And I'm just going to bring him on in because I know he want to talk about this crazy circus act that's going on in his White House today. AJ.
What's up, man? What's up with you? You got it, man. I was out here walking the dog. I was like, I ain't got no link for the show, man.
Man, my fault, brother. Dark Man Blues in the building. My fault. Listen, I didn't sleep so great last night. And I was just thinking when I woke up, I was like, you know what? I still feel really good, man. I feel really good. You know, they getting ready. Look, this orange joker ain't showing up for the job. His last day of work, he just ain't gonna show up.
No, man, I like when they showed all the soldiers and everything. I'm like, is this the wall?
That's the wall he wanted to build to keep the
Yeah,
Mexicans
yeah, yeah. That's the wall he built. So
I'll tell you one thing, man. I'm just expecting it. I know he mad he ain't got Twitter right now.
man, he ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing.
And then wife might be walking out on him right now. This orange nigga out of here.
Oh, you said her bye might have been bye.
Yeah.
No, man, I ain't sleep good either, man. I was cause I tried to find all the poems. There's still like 8 poems I can't find.
Mm.
I don't know where they are. They're in something. But it was all going to Still Black. But Still Black got about 80 poems in it.
Listen, AJ said he write every day. He's probably the only poet that I believe when he said that.
and man, I wrote a poem yesterday after watching the memorial service they had.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mother-in-law here, she passed away March the 1st. And they weren't talking about COVID, but we know now all the symptoms. It was COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And my best friend passed away April 1st.
Right, I remember that.
And another friend of mine out of Dallas passed away in September the 5th. And all this was COVID. So, and my mom in the hospital right now with COVID. So all these people not wanting to wear a mask and stuff. I'm like, please don't talk to me about anything that you think when you haven't been through it. And I've had COVID. So, so I wrote this poem, Come Morning, but it's the morning of morning. And I wrote it to put in the book because I'm like, everything I'm writing going in the book.
Going in the book. I have to go to I have a meeting with my consultant today. And so and I have to go out there, but I'm gonna be fixed on this TV, but I'm gonna write some real political comedy shit all day. I mean, if that's happening today, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that, bro.
Yesterday I was watching Pelosi's interview. And when they walked through the hall, there was this black lady was dusting off the Constitution. So I had to rewind and take a picture because I'm like, she's still searching for her name.
Wow.
She said, maybe if I clean this dust off, we in there somewhere. We in there somewhere.
A fingerprint or something, a ink spot, something that say nigga,
right? For real. Oh, thank you, Jason.
Mom, yeah. And let me tell you, I had to send off the rest of the mugs I sent out mugs yesterday. I sent out books yesterday, and I'm in there. So it's a small, UPS stores a small capacity, only fit like a few people in there. And so this lady comes in, her and her teenage child or whoever this kid is with them, but they're at least 14, right? They might be older, but at least 14. Some of these kids look older than what they are, right?
Yeah, and hard life.
No mask on. And so I look and I'm like, are these people lost their damn mind? And I was going to make mention of it because I don't give a damn. I don't need UPS to say nothing. Shit, I'm in here. It's my damn life, right? So the UPS person says, "Ma'am, you need to have a mask on when you come in the store." This woman says, "Oh, I can't wear a mask because I have a medical condition." And I'm saying, well, your stupid ass have a medical condition already, and then you're gonna come outside within the store without a mask. I said, if you want to die, just go ahead and shoot yourself and get it over. Just go ahead and get because that's just insane.
No, but that's the excuse they've been using. And I'm like, and I hear it just like you hear it. Like, okay, so you got a medical condition, but this disease attacks people with medical conditions. So you're saying, come on, COVID.
I dare you.
Give me what you got, COVID. Give me what you got. No, man, but I'm so proud of you, man. I saw your pen. I saw you. I saw your pen. Like, okay, now everything's actual. So he said, yes, actual office.
Actual. So I walked in. I'm sharing a bigger office space with another fellow poet friend of mine, who's the president of the Guerrilla Poets, and we're sharing an office space. But where I'm going to do the open mics and stuff from, and all the lives is actually going to be in the library.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole side of the wall is just it's just bookshelves of just books. And I'm gonna do all the open mics from right in there. But nobody's in there. I basically have the place to myself because of COVID, there's no activity going on. And then they have another space that they want to give me as my own space, but they have to move some things around because of COVID. You know, a lot of things has been locked and shut down. And so right now I'll be sharing the space with Shane Mania. She was on my slam team forever. I'm sharing the space with her because she's in the same building. And then I'll be moving to the other office that's further over. But I have access to all the rooms in there. There's a piano in there. Somebody can come and play some. I got one of my homeboys. I'm gonna get him to come up and play some piano. We're gonna go live. I'm gonna play some piano and I'm gonna do some poetry. And I got some competition. I got some poetry competitions that I'm gonna be doing. Where poets and send in their videos, and then we'll judge the videos and we'll have winners first all the way through fifth. And then I would start a Saturday show. I would go ahead and let them come on the Saturday show on live YouTube and stuff like that. So we're getting ready, man. We're getting ready.
Not cool, because that's what I did at all my events. Because I've never had an event where I paid the top poet. And my event's called Battle of the Flows.
Okay.
And Battle of the Flows is making poetry a contact sport.
Wow.
And that's the whole concept. But I always paid the top 5. Mm-hmm. I said people will fly to Dallas or Fort Worth, come to this theater. I had a theater called the Rosemary Theater.
Okay.
It was Hispanic owned, but they had a big old green room. So they had all these poets coming down, and the poets had to come in the green room. So poets were not used to not being with their cliques. You know, because when they go to a slam, they sit with their clique and everybody's there. You know, you go up and you take your chest out and you walking up stage. Yeah, y'all ready? Y'all ready? I got this, you know. And that was the first time I saw poets actually talking to each other.
Wow.
That have known each other for years. But they've never been in an event, in a situation where all I got is these poets that I know, but I've never really talked to them about anything except for at PSI and Slam.
Yeah. Crazy to think about it, right?
Yeah. But I'm saying I had a green room, had food, had fruit, had juice, had wine, had whatever you want, coffee, tea, whatever you want in the green room
right now.
and it was cool because a lot of poets said, man, when you having another one? You know, Christopher Michael, you know who Christopher Michael is, right?
Yeah.
10 Brown Street. Christopher Michael came, you know, was in my event probably 3 times. Let me see, Deshade Moonbeam out of Austin, all the poets out of Houston and Austin and what else? San Antonio, and a couple from New York and a couple from other places would come down and be an event because, you know, a lot of times when poets need somewhere to stay, they stayed at my house.
That is your crib. I'm gonna tell you. So we went to when Southern Fried was in San Antonio. We was in our first bout was with Dallas. Not Dallas. What's Christopher Michael's slam team? It's not Dallas Slam.
Fort Hood. That's out of Fort Hood. But
we was in a competition. We was in a bout with them, and they beat us for first place by 0.6 of a point. I mean, they jumped out on us. And I think I think a group piece came in. I think I pulled up group piece. I told them, I think it was Whitson and Lane that came in, and we pulled right there with them, man. It was a good bout, though. It was a good bout. I miss that. And when I do my poetry festival here, I'm just doing a group piece slam. I'm not doing individuals. I'm doing group piece slams only.
Yeah, I'm saying, man, when I finished the Harriet's Feet, because Massport and I, we're supposed to be doing Harriet's Feet. Massport was writing one too.
Okay.
But I think his is, but I heard a couple of pieces he did that's fire that he did recently. But when I finished Harriet's Feet, I was like, man, I kind of like this poem, man.
How do you not, right? Let's talk about that part.
But that's the whole thing is I think it's our job right now. Like we see a new regime taking place. We see a whole different concept, a whole different, I guess, motivational technique. Like, okay, I'm gonna invite all y'all out. We're going to mass, and then we're gonna go here. Then we're gonna talk about this COVID thing. Then we're gonna talk about this immigration thing. We're gonna talk about all these things that we need to talk about. But let's go to mass first and talk to God.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's different. But I'm saying I think our approach has to be like, okay, let's sit down. How do we poet better?
Wow.
How do we become better stewards of sound?
Yeah.
So what is it you want people to not just hear, to take with them when they leave? A lot of times I just want you to hear this. No, I want to give you something to take with you where you're angry at yourself that you didn't write it and shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Sam Rain in the building. Listen, I want to drop some shit in your lap and you can't get up.
Now I want to take you to a place that you ain't been and just drop your ass off.
Boom.
and you looking around like, this ain't bad, but what the hell is this?
I know this motherfucker just dropped me. I ain't got no roadmap, no nothing.
Because man, I start. I got everything in the book now. Everything that's going in the book is done. Because what I did is, I had probably almost 180 pages, and I was like, man, but I'm like, because I write so much, I'm like, there's poems that are missing, and I don't know what they are.
Wow.
So I had to start going through things and just clicking on poems, say, okay, what date did I write this?
Mm-hmm.
You see 2020, 2021, whatever. I'm like, okay, so I pull it up and I'm reading. I'm like, man, this, and I had about 15 poems that were not completely finished.
Wow.
And I finished all 15 of them.
Yeah, you be right. Mandelion said to tell you good morning. Mandelion 28 said to tell you good morning.
Said, how do you morning, Mandy? How do you morning? I know she's running. She's running.
Yes, I know she's running somewhere or getting ready to. She's stretching. She's doing right now. That woman is getting ready to run 240 miles or something crazy. I know
she's on a mountain peak somewhere, just running, just stretch.
I ain't got nothing to do. I'm gonna run Mount Everest.
Yeah. Now look outside. I say that mountain can't be that far. That's only about 80 miles. Man, that is an honor, man. And she's running every mile for prayer.
Mind you, she said she already got 10 in already.
Oh, yeah. Every mile for prayer. So, and I think when your mission is not a mystery, it's a whole different concept, because I always tell people, I say some missions are mysteries and those you have to worry about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But some missions are missions.
Yeah. And
when your mission is a mission, then as the declaration and lights blinking above it telling you what it is, a lot of times you just have to pay attention to join in. Come on, let's go. I ain't running, but I'll walk a mile with you.
You better damn pay attention to something inside your head. Man, I'm still sitting here. I don't believe I've done this 100 times.
Oh man, that's why, man. I was up early for that reason.
And maybe that's why I couldn't sleep, because I was tossing and turning. I had the TV on. I turned the music on. I can't sleep. It's like everything went off. It was just me, and I just couldn't go to sleep.
I was up early for that reason, because I'm like, man, I need to. I just want to share in this moment, share in this glory, because I don't think we're used to seeing what glory looks like. Because they told us about glory. They used to sing about it, pat their feet in church, and then you hear them singing in the background. They always had the sisters and the mothers of the church sitting on the front. Oh, I never knew what they were saying, but everybody else knew what they were saying. So I guess it was a song. But now this is what glory looks like. Glory is just saying, look, I started this not even knowing where it was going, and here we are 100 shows in.
It was a time where glory was always too far away, because it always came in the morning.
Oh yeah.
You had to just be dead. You just dead until glory comes, because morning is coming again. You never wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I made it to glory. So you're still waiting for glory to come. And I think that's part of our hangups. We always waiting for some shit that ain't coming. In fact, we speak it in the way that it can't come. If glory is to come in the morning and you made a song about it, that means you're never gonna get glory.
I mean, my best friend, I tell you, passed away in April. My best friend, man, we talked almost every day. He heard every poem in every book that I have printed so far. And we talked about it. He was taxi driver in New Orleans. And we talked 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning. He called me, because usually I was up writing or editing something, or when I was working on the books. And he asked me, he said, man, I'll be up for morning every day. And I had to write this poem. And I didn't tell him I was writing, but the poem says that everybody that's not up at 12:01 missed morning. Because you can't get up at 3 o'clock talking about you early.
You sure
You're
can.
3 hours late.
Yeah. Wow. I never even thought about that like that.
That's what I'm saying. Because we always, people have told us, we learned, and that's when I started deciding we've learned everything wrong. Yeah. People tell us, get up at 6 a.m. It's a great day. You up early. You're up for morning. I'm like, no, I think morning started 6 hours ago.
I'm a little late for that.
Yeah. So when I started looking at things in that perspective, it just changed my whole outlook on everything. Like, okay, so I got to understand that everything I've been taught has a slight edge to it. Even, you know, I wrote a poem the other day and posted in impromptu. Says that she taught me that the sky has corners. You know, and the galaxy is not that far away. Basically, like, hey, you know, we can build some stuff. It's our imagination that makes imagination makes everything big. Because I always say, I am imagination's imagination.
Yeah. Wow. The poem I wrote for Dr. Martin Luther King, I said, I wonder if his voice still lives in the clouds. Trapped between the listen.
No, check it out. I'm gonna go get my glasses. That's what I wrote a poem. The Dr. King, it's a Dear Martin, I have a dream. I wrote that on Martin Luther King's birthday.
Wow.
That I was gonna do, and I wrote it. I was gonna do it on your show, but I was late.
Well, do it now. Do it now. I'll do mine. Too. Let's do it now.
I'm gonna go get my glasses. I'm gonna get my glasses. I'll be right back.
Listen, y'all in for a treat. Y'all know AJ bring that heat. Y'all already know. Just because we taught, it doesn't mean it's true. That's right, Mandy Line, because we are taught some things that don't even make sense. I'm gonna have to cue up my piece because I'm gonna do my piece too. Yeah. So it is. Glory comes in the morning. Just means we sleep right now. That's right, Mike. Morning is at midnight. It may be dark, but it's morning. Absolutely. And I think a lot of times we, you know, going back to what we said, a lot of people get stuck. I am imagination. Right. Wasn't that dope, Kendra? I think we get stuck in the idea that this is literally what it is. And so we learn scripture in poetic form, the things that we believe so deeply, the stories and everything we learn in as people are speaking it into existence, basically. So it's never literally, you know what I'm saying? Well, Jesus died on the cross for you. Okay, well, let's look at what the literal term of that is, because we're looking at the physical part of it. But if that is true, in fact, it's more than the physical aspect of it. It's about what it means that we haven't seen yet in this country. That's my opinion.
Well, you know, I like to discuss, and you know, with people, like, okay, so if we look at the truth, the real truth, I'm saying, in essence, just lay all the information down and say, okay, what's verifiable? What can you prove? What's there? You start looking at, okay, so there's like 387 religions that have a virgin birth. And not just that, it's you know, even in India, there's thousands of gods, and some of them have virgin birth. But the original virgin birth started in Kemet. In Africa. With Ra and Seth and everybody else that you look at these Egyptian movies and you think this is a joke. I'm like, no, it's not a joke. It's real.
It's real. Well, in fact, let's talk about it. Even before it became religion, that was African folklore.
It was practice.
In the manger.
Yeah, before it became religion, it was practice.
That's right.
And see, I always try to tell people that most of the people, everybody in Greece and in Rome and all these places, where they got that Greece information, where they got Alexander from, Alexander the Horrible, went to Kemet. He went to Kemet, and he was invited in because they thought knowledge was power, and they wanted everybody to have knowledge.
Right. Right.
So when they were invited in, they said, "Hey, man, these people just letting people in. Let's go get our army and come back." So they came back, pillaged the libraries, stole the books, shot the noses off the Sphinx, shot the noses off the, because they was tired of seeing big giant images they couldn't create look like us.
Right. Right. How did they move them stones like that with no equipment?
No, check it out. 20 years ago. No, it was probably longer than that. They had some either Japan or China sent some people over. They was gonna try and build a pyramid. And they with all the equipment and computers and stuff, they couldn't do it. And the problem was, if you look at the pyramids in Giza, they're in the center of the earth. The point of the pyramids points to the center of the galaxy. And I'm saying, it's like, okay, you think all these things are accidents? That's like we're geniuses by accidents. This shit ain't no accident.
You better figure it out.
So this is mine. I'm reading from Still Black.
Okay.
So when I change pages, it's gonna take me I got to go back down and resize the page and stuff. Let me see if I can make it 100% and do it. Okay, I'm trying it this way. Jim Martin, I Have a Dream is the title. If we start with today and look back, as far as time will allow, our history will present us on pages. We can begin to compute how much we've paid in this country to dream. If life, liberty, and the pursuit of anything uncompromised can be without prejudice. If Black blood has an American equivalent, how the detachment of Black body from breath comes often with large donations from sheriff's department slush fund, as if they knew in advance. You can only determine the amount a Black man is worth once he is subtracted from his children. Once his mother cries foul, when his father rebukes the system, denounces the use of deadly force, only he can, once he can family no more. I wonder if Dr. King shows up in spirit when called. When men, women, and children in any level of education repeat his speeches. When we call on him asking for a sign. I'm changing pages. It's there. Is he aware? We spent 8 years with the man that wore his same skin color in the highest office of the nation. How can we get him a message to let him know a minority woman will finally have the honor of being vice president? When is the last time he visited Ebenezer? His successors following his footsteps. Where is the title of first Black senator from the heart of Dixie? I want to ask him if he believed his words when he spoke of character, little Black and white children holding hands, if drum majors for justice these days should carry long guns. There's no reason I should reference the after effects of having a Black president. No reason to discuss the last 4 years in detail. Promised myself I would not even use 2020 in a sentence. When I say it out loud, would only write it in pencil. I would let him know Klansmen carry their guns, their rifles in public on government property. At least they leave their hoods at home. Should I tell him they stormed the Capitol the other day as if it was 1776 or 1876? Again, they're attempting to overthrow the government. You would not believe after all this time, they're still finding new ways to steal or cancel our vote. Some Republican Secretary of States randomly purged Black voters from the roll as if commonplace. Others claim our votes should be discounted because we voted at polling places that were illegal or mail-in ballots were not exactly authorized. If you came back, would you not be allowed to march or even walk to view the mall where you spoke to thousands? You could not approach Lincoln's monument. Would be forced to stand outside the perimeter of a fence more than 7 feet in height, topped with razor wire. Lincoln could look down and believe we were members of his plantation crew. Finally, America would be great again. Dear Martin, maybe it's worse. Maybe it is worse. Every time we take 4 steps up the ladder to justice, they relocate the building. I wonder if you know how it looks when the president of the United States hold a rally to stop the count of electoral votes. How many Confederate flags are in attendance? How many of them descendants of good old boys are still good old boys? Maybe our dreams are for sale, should be sold or renewed after every murder, after every assassination. Maybe we need a lesson on mountaintops. Dear Dr. King, I'm not trying to alarm you, but here we may require two of you or a couple of other leaders in your recent acquaintance to come back and teach us and teach a master's class, especially since we're so close to having masters again.
There's a hollowing to the spirit with that last line, bro. Wow. Because that's where they at. Shit, right there. Look, we can show you what it's like in a minute.
What the mic? I just looked down. What did Mike have up there?
Oh, let me show it again.
Man, I went to the unveiling of Mary McLeod Bethune's and Cookman's statue. I was in DC at the unveiling. I was a junior in high school. Stop. I was a junior in high school, and we went there for women. It was a women's march, women's movement, whatever. So we went there with all these women. We had buses. So it's like three guys with all these women. So I'm taking all these buses. Man, it was it was an awesome trip, man. We did some of everything, man. It was awesome, and it was just, I guess to me that was what actually started my view of viewing history in the right context. There's always a point where you find that your view of everything changed in the right direction because something happened, or somebody gifted you something, gifted you a place or a ticket, or you went to somewhere where you heard something that kicked over the cauldron in your spirit of inspiration, and you were motivated to write some new shit.
Yeah.
Stop, Jill, stop.
There's nothing like that writing that take you someplace, man. That's what I love. Don't get me wrong. I love to hear pretty poems and poems about galaxies and stars and how they make love and we don't understand it. You know, I love all of that stuff. But when someone delivers a poem and it's a line that becomes invasion of the body snatchers and they just grab you.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies, man.
when they snatch your ass up like that, man. Shh. Yeah,
that's one of my two favorite movies, man. Invasion of the Body Snatchers and The Birds.
I remember The Birds, man.
And I was like, I just want, with all these graphics, I just want a new version. Invasion of the Body Snatchers would be the dopest movie out there, and The Birds.
Oh my
God, The Birds would scare the shit out of people when all them blackbirds stuff flying on, coming in the parking lot. People would stay in the store.
They wouldn't even come get no carts no more. But no, I'm just gonna carry all my groceries in my arm.
Yeah, now come on, read that job, man. I'm ready.
Let me read the joint because you ain't heard it yet. You ain't heard it.
No, I hadn't.
My mother said when I was born, she saw me whole. She said she saw facial hair that hadn't found my skin. She said a baby boy would one day be a great man and do some great things with his life. That's what my mother said about me. I wonder if Alberta Williams King knew that of her son. If she knew he would shine with the word doctor before his name, the name she casted from her lips when she was fixing his meals or tucked him into bed. I wonder when he was a boy, did she ever see him in the lights, plastered on billboards with guns aimed at his mastery? Did she know he would pincushion his face with assault rifles? I wonder if his father, Martin Luther King Sr., saw his boy's name branded in red, white, and bloodstained. If you knew their son had God's echo in his voice and white supremacy wanting his backside, did they know that their son's bravery would leave him breathless, choked out, betrayed by best friends and pastors who once called him brother? Did they know that he was David fighting a modern-day Goliath? That he was Daniel swallowed by the darkest den here in America? I wonder if they can still hear him. still begging to let my people go. Maybe his voice still lives amongst the clouds, trapped in between the heaven's doorbell and American satellites. Maybe his speeches mean more in heaven than they do in America. If he now commands angels who walk to a tone that humans couldn't listen to. I wonder what God has to say. If God cries because America made Dr. King an ornament, made her a martyr but not a free man, turned his life into a memorial, never found the key to unlock his God span within the speech. How does God feel knowing they fit him into a moment of silence when he was a true heartbeat of the djembe drum line that they planned to cancel his metronome? Can you see he is bigger than I have a dream, louder than I've been to the mountaintop, more startling than a knock at midnight? You can't write sermons like those anymore. Not without that voice, without that rumble, not without God's approval. They saw one like a death sentence. I wonder if they march in heaven. If there's a Selma on the underside, I wonder if that Montgomery has empty gas stations. I know their shoes have to be worn out. Backs are tired. The son who have spent days turning their backsides into a California king. He will be 92 today, shining and bronze in the way that his Lord saw fit. 92, lending his voice to the ancestors we forgot to listen to. 92. And untroubled like southern live oak trees, soaring like brown thrashers, all relevant to the great state of Georgia. Our king will be 92 today, still unconquered, still unafraid, and still fighting for everything humanity has yet to learn. So I usually sing Georgia with that, but it's too early in the morning. Y'all had to get that at that time.
If you're still marching heaven, but it was one line that, you know, red, white, and bloodstain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying the whole piece, man, is every image is a staple within the poem that you can't hear that poem without every image being as loud as everything, as loud as you say his voice at 92 would be, like the mountains. But it was one thing, you know, you said it was toward the middle, and I heard what you said, but I heard it differently.
Okay.
But what I heard is basically he's hanging. You say he has a crew of Judases. Is what I heard, but that's not what you said. I'm telling you exactly what you said, but I heard he got a crew of Judases. You know, when you said you was talking about his face, you know, and targets on him, and but you say what did you say? Traitors.
I'm gonna go back to it.
It's started about 12 lines in and go down.
Boy, there you go. There you go. I said, did they know that their son's bravery would leave him breathless, choked out, betrayed by best friends and pastors who once called him brother?
That's and what line is that?
Let me see. That starts at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, we got some lines down, bro. We way down in there.
Okay. But that's it, man. It was like, because it's like, you know, like he hanging out with a crew of Judases, like any one of them could have been rap. You know, Abernathy wrote the book. Reverend Abernathy wrote the book.
Let's get that part right.
Yeah, Reverend Abernathy wrote the book because it was money in it. So now we see these 20 pieces of silver just don't come in silver no more.
You know, I never really paid attention to, for a while, I'm not saying never, you didn't pay attention to when your mother tell you things like, you need to watch those people you calling friends. I listened to that interview when they was talking about He said, yeah, the night before they killed our brother, listen to the words now, before they killed our brother, we was in the hotel room, you know, doing what we do, having preacher talk, okay? He didn't say they was having a conversation. We was having preacher talk. And then he said, it wasn't until he moved to his left that we was able to get a good shot. Stop the press. He said it wasn't until he moved that we was able to get a clear shot. And everybody missed that. How in the hell did we become a piece that nobody didn't get? Nigga, you got, if you we, then nigga, you should be in jail.
It sound like your president got 30 minutes left. Why they try to move all our statues and flags? I'm like, and nobody heard. I'm like, our statues. So that means that, you know, General Robert E. and all them other people is yours. And see, I was trying to tell everybody from the beginning. I say, everybody worried about all these statues that they're moving, but they don't understand that they put the statues up 60 years after the fact. Once they ended Reconstruction, once they made the agreement in 1877, when they made that agreement, and he took all the soldiers, all the people that was governing the South to make sure that Reconstruction happened, the Reconstruction occurred without cause. When he removed those soldiers, that's when Jim Crow came in, and after they reestablished themselves under Jim Crow, that's when they started building all these replicas of these traitors.
Yeah.
And everybody just got used to looking at traitors on traitors made of stone, and it's like, you got traitors 10 feet tall, and I'm not supposed to know this.
It goes, listen, when Charlottesville was going on, that nigga got up there. Yeah, I called y'all favorite president a nigga, because that's what it is. That orange nigga got his ass on there and said, this is what he said now. There was good people on both sides. Holy shit. There was good people on both sides.
I'm trying to think of what poem that is where it say no good people on both sides. Is that, that's not home. That's Amen.
Is it?
Amen, yeah. Because Amen say, you know, what does the church say when the choir can't sing? When ain't no good people on both sides, you know.
Ooh-wee. You know, I have several Google Docs with just timeline posts posted. I just posted on my timeline, and from time to time I go down and read those, and I'll be like, man, I didn't even remember. I remember writing it now that I'm reading it, but I didn't even remember writing it. And I like to go back and read stuff that I hadn't written.
And read it, man. It's your 100th show, man. Read it. It's your 100th show.
Oh, I ain't got nothing pulled up, but you know, I can find something. You know, that's what we do.
Now, I was trying to find, you know, because I've never wrote a poem about relationships, right, or anything. But I wrote this poem, Unforgiven, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote this poem, what is it? Something about what hate looks like, or what hate looks like. And man, and that poem is really about my ex, and I ain't trying to be facetious and nothing. It's just the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to find it because when I reread it, I'm like, because I was thinking about not putting it in here, and I was like, I got to put it in here because this. I want people to know that there's Black love, there's Black everything, but there's a formidable Black fight that we got to keep having, and that's what Still Black is this fight we got to keep having because. And in the beginning of the book, it says, look, remember every part of history they told you was history.
Mm-hmm.
You go and research that shit for yourself because you need to know your own history. Say, know thyself. You can only do that by knowing what your history is.
That's right. You found your piece?
Yeah, I found it. Let me enlarge it a little bit.
I got something I wrote, I think 4 years ago today, so I'm gonna read that when you're done.
What hate looks like. These days, I paint my pictures, spit these verses, write these lines with the harness attached to the clip of my pen. No one really knows how hard it gets to control the uncontrollable. Sometimes your life, these lines, a poem will force you to place a seatbelt around your fingers. Parachute or pressure plate underneath your tongue. Even the Bible tells us the power of words. You may be required to walk on air. Clouds of water, tiptoe across the last two bridges you burned, from sky to dust, to get back to that you had no idea where you last saw yourself. I got mirrors that quit being mirrors. Long, long time ago. You don't know how you see yourself until you really see yourself for years. Your shadow has been embarrassed to tag along. Your feet do not like living side by side, no longer leave footprints in the mud. You will never know what problems are until your ex, be it wife or girlfriend, that believes you owe them everything you got. Hope is coming for the rest of your life. I know that's what hate looks like. When you paid child support for over 30 years and Texas demands you owe an additional 30 years, as if the state is still angry at General Granger, who arrived and robbed them and disrupted their ability for free labor. I believed only America would dig that deep into the past and force you to pay for it with your future, asking for every one of your tomorrows that ain't here yet. Good thing I don't have my father's tongue, and heaven blessed me with my mother's love.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to read today 4 years ago. This was on my Facebook. Came up in one of my joints.
And I like that. I like when Facebook tells somebody, say, man, did I write that?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You be like, man, because when I was reading it, when I pulled it up earlier, I was like, wow, I don't even remember writing it. But then I was like, okay, I remember some of it.
Yeah, I remember this idea.
Right. It said, I pictured what perfect looked like. The aroma of delight and dandelions filling the night breeze, lifting my smile so I could just breathe again. I heard a melody play, heard vibrations dancing to God's heartbeat. It hummed blessings that matched his whispers. It frightened me at first. Then it kissed me as I tumbled through its pattern. It hugged me like thick thighs and spandex. I felt like passion and mystery, dreams and disappointment, sundresses and black women. It felt like summertime, like hopscotch and dominoes. It reminded me of red light, green light, and cocoa leaving. Like holding hands when we walked home from school, boxing in the back stairwell in high school, murder burgers and suicide french fries in Thomas Jefferson High School. Remind me of Miller Park, where I grew up, Bradford Street, East New York, Brooklyn. A train ride at 3 a.m. buying nickel bags that came in those small manila envelopes. It was like fresh blunts, like from before class. Like tomboys with the fattest ass, like chicks who gave head so she could remain a virgin. The cats with the wickedest dribble. My cousin who dunked on everybody. Those basement parties with loves. Remind me of my first DJ set. That Kool-Aid smile I had the first time I got me a piece of that wet. See, perfect didn't always make sense. It didn't always make your head bob. But perfect always felt good to me. And perfect found everybody at one point that lived on my block. And that shit, perfect.
Now, and what's that? What's that? Hear me like big thighs. What's that line again?
I said, it held me like thick thighs and spandex.
Yeah.
Man.
That's just perfect right there. That's perfect.
I might have to put that shit in the book, man. Damn.
No, that's perfect right there. That's dope. But I'm gonna tell you, it's like 80 something poems in this book, and I found pieces, man. I was trying to find the one I tell you I just wrote when they did their little service.
Mm-hmm.
It's called "Come Morning," and it's real short, but it was the memorial service because I never really wrote a poem for my mother-in-law or my best friend or them passing, because it's not. I guess it's not time. I can't grasp that right now. I can't write it to where it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I guess COVID don't make sense to me, so it's kind of hard for other things to make sense when I can't even grasp that thing. Let me see, where is it? Let's see, Come Morning 140. This book is it's gonna be 240 something pages of new work in a black book. So I'm kind of happy with that. So
yeah, it's full. It's full. Good morning, y'all. That's tuning in. Listen, we got about 8 minutes left, and I guess AJ gonna do a poem, and I'm gonna do one to close us out, man. It's the 100th show today. We've been on this screen 100 times. Thank y'all so much for being here. I love y'all to pieces. I promise. I promise.
Okay, this is Come Morning, and the morning is MOURNING. Morning. It says, we will often not speak of the gone, of friends and family for reasons beyond the control of our hearts, who we said whatever goodbye our eyes will allow. If it were just my heart buried in sorrow, it would never matter to the masses. In America, due to COVID-19, we all have lost more than 400,000 friends, loved ones, family, associates who will sing Come Morning. Will amaze our graces, our streets pour gold. Who can touch our souls when eyes leak as the thought of missing a touch we would never feel again? If it is grace that brought us this far, why did it not bring them along? It is impossible to sing when the melody is missing. Come morning, who will cry with me? Who will sing of days no more coming? Come morning, I will cry for you. I will weep for those who shared their last breath with nurses and doctors when family could only sit alone, when quarantine forbade us to be family. Come morning, we will remain here alone by grace, by faith, shedding tears of remembrance.
Wow. Wow. There's a undertone to poems like that never leave you after you hear it. It never leaves you. Never freaking leave. This poem is it's a never ending poem. And it's because it never ends. It will never end. I always have every book will have a part of this poem in
it. That's a dope idea.
Like it should be every book I do. It should be the last poem in it, the never ending poem, or the first one. Like it just has.
One of my favorite stories to read to my kids was the never ending story.
Mm-hmm. I love that movie.
Yeah, with the big dog. That was so. That's what brought to mind. So yeah, I'm ready, man.
All right, the never-ending poem. I look for a day when happiness means I'm heading home. A day when the hue of my skin brings a smile to all those who witness it. I'm looking for a day when my name glides across the tongues in a land that had always belonged to me. I look for a day that I can place my childhood fears beneath my foot soles. A day when running in a schoolyard is safe. When walking a public street doesn't warrant a stranger. A day when Black folks are proud to no longer rest their chins against their chests. I look for a day when the sweet rain sun doesn't have to fight through chemtrails. A day where supremacy finally rids us of its placing, rids us of its counterparts, with its favorite complexion always lining our baselines. I look for a day when hurting finds an answer. A day when laying down my burden finds the riverbed and the voices sing of the forgotten languages when learned history and unlearned history, I'm sorry. A day when the tree sitting left of the big house sings the voices of the lost ones. And the green grass apologizes for thriving from bloodstains and strange fruit. I look for a day when we don't have to ask for permission to be proud Black folks. We don't have to camouflage the bold of our beauty under man-made terms. I look for a day when the word nigger has no meaning. When the use of the word nigger becomes criminal. I look for a day when color is of love and love is all that we need to find God. I look for a day when all we know is what they've gained from us, our continent, our sacrifice. Our history was the history that was omitted from the Freedom of Speech Act. Look for a day when we awake to djembe drum and bare feet vibrations of rhythm against the sands of the motherland. I look for a day when slumped and broken backs are not. When the words where you from can lead to a smile rather than a gunshot. A day when no one dies because of fear or race or little white lies. I look for a day when we can honor those who lived before us, those whose lives changed after the auction blocks called them a new thing. A day when we honor those who became property, the ones who swallowed their own humanness to see that their family suffers just a little less today. I look for a day when this poem can find an ending and we don't have to worry what's coming next.
No, man, that's fire, man. But I guess I was listening and I could hear all the images, but what I was thinking is how I really admire your pen, because your pen is omnidirectional. Because when you say, you say the tree left of the big house.
Yeah.
It's like it's like I want you to see this in the image that I'm speaking, and it's just one line, but you can see it right here. You can see it right here, because I'm leaving this. I'm leaving this line for you. I want you to just look over there and come on back. So you can see the tree and come on back. So there's a lot of places in that poem where you have to look and see it and come on back, but you put it in a place with the finger point, like right there. How you say, how did I get to where I was right there? And you can see it. But that's what the whole poem was. The whole poem was like finger pointing in the direction of images that were staples in the poem. So it was like, okay, tree left of the big house, the tree right there.
Right there.
The singing with all them people, all them gone voices in it,
And it hadn't left. It's still there.
Yeah, right there.
What does the tree symbolize? It's still right there. That tree is that 13th Amendment that they used to lock your ass up with, that they told you was free. I mean, that's the damn tree. The tree is that orange asshole giving leader office. That's the damn tree.
No, man, but that piece is fire, man. I appreciate that, man. That's
Thanks, bro. Well, listen, man, we got 2 minutes actually. We got to get off here. So let me close it out. And AJ, man, I always appreciate when you come on. I think everybody come when the both of us is on here. I know they come more when they know you on here. I'm just gonna start putting you coming on every day just to attract more.
Man, but let me tell you, man, I just want to say this quick, that I know I couldn't sleep because this is your 100th show, man, and I'm honored and I'm appreciative to be the guest on your 100th show, and I appreciate every poem that you read, and I want people to know that, man, y'all got it. Y'all got to get this man books, man. I'm saying we got products, so how can we build a better community until we actually build a better community? Yeah. And I have an idea that I'm going to do to help try to push poets to getting more get more sales with their merchandise, mainly the books. I know the merchandise is to make money, but I want the information out there. I want us to start feeding people, and so we got to create a platform so the people are hungry for it, and that they can't wait. Oh, I can't wait to get. Oh, he got another one coming out. I can't wait to get that. And so I'm trying to figure out how to make that make sense. But we'll get there. We'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. Anyway, man, thank y'all all for being here. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Shout out to my man AJ, my brother in the building. Listen, it's always a beautiful day when you get to see the sun come up, even if it's not shining bright, even if it got to fight through clouds. Guess what? Even though it's fighting through those clouds, you can still see it. You can still feel it. You are still alive. So I challenge you today to be better than you was yesterday. You have everything you need to be super fantastic, great, and amazing. All of those good things. You know why? Because the Creator created no one else exactly like you. So go out and start to show this world how to love you by starting to love yourself. And I guarantee you, things will change overnight if we can start that. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. Check it out. Let me just holler. Okay, be like the sun. A lot of times, the people or the clouds or the storms might want to act like you ain't there. So shine anyway.
Shine anyway. Shine. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from the man himself. Peace and love, y'all. Y'all be good.